The following is a feature presentation of our Nation Sports Show. New York City, Madison Square Garden, the site of Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Following San Antonio's Game 3 victory, they were looking to even these finals at 2 games apiece. In the first half, the Spurs had a commanding performance on both ends of the floor in dominant fashion. In the first half, they set the all-time finals record with most consecutive threes made in a single half with 14. At the end of the first half, the Spurs led by 27. 2 minutes into the third quarter, they led by 29 points. When the game seemed to be over and out of reach, the Knicks once again did not surrender. They did not die. Led by Jalen Brunson and OG Anunoby's heroics, these Knicks, what seemed to be impossible, became possible. The Knicks completed the most epic comeback in NBA Finals history. That old saying is true. Anything is possible. Heading back to San Antonio with a commanding 3-1 series lead, the Knicks were looking to clinch their first championship in 53 years, and they did. Led by Captain Clutch himself, Jalen Brunson set the all-time Knicks record of scoring points in a clinching game with 45 points. The Knicks, for the first time since 1973, are NBA champions of the basketball world. Congratulations, New York. You deserve this championship.
Good up to the court, talking all that is sport, breaking down the latest news, scores, and more. Welcome to our Nation Sports Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, we regret to inform you that our shenanigans are about to begin. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sports Show. Our Nation Sports Show, to be exact. I am Ezra Vickery. We thank you guys for joining us. We have a loaded show for you tonight. It is going to be a crazy show because we got the NBA Finals, we got the Stanley Cup Finals to cover, all the latest NFL news, all the latest NBA news, and more. This show is going to be very nice and very evil. But, dude, we got a good amount of stuff to get to. We're not going to waste too much more time. Of course, the ways you can interact with us is what we got to talk about first, and that is at Owen_Sports Show on X, Facebook, Instagram, and everywhere else, including YouTube, is Our Nation Sports Show. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, family, your enemies, your cousins, your brothers, your sisters, everything in between. Want to hear you guys in the chat. If you're in the chat, please join us. Your comments, your concerns, your questions. You're wondering why Steven wears glasses. A bunch of different questions and more coming up, I'm sure, for that. But we got a lot to get into, ladies and gents. So no more goofing around. Let's go ahead and get to it. Here is my heavy metal brother from North Kakalaki, one of the most epic drummers on the planet. I'll tell you that much. He won't go through a midlife crisis in the next year. And he turns other drummers with his drumming into angel dust. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Big Stephen Wyand.
I guess what you can say is surprise, you're dead. What's going on, everybody? Yes, we are here. We are live. We are here to talk about all things sports and mix in a little bit of wrestling talk because, yes, there is a certain very nice, very evil gentleman, if you will, that had a hand in this magic and this success and all of that good stuff. And yeah, what a very wild, eventful week it was in the world of sports with the NBA Finals, the Stanley Cup Finals coming to a conclusion, and we will get into that here in a little bit. So, with that being said, let's do this.
Yes, let's do this. And man, we got a fuck ton to get into, both in the worlds of basketball, both in the worlds of baseball, and everything in between. See, now the question is, and this is the biggest question of them all, is where do we begin? Let's go ahead and according to some of the stuff that we talked about here, let's talk about this. And that is, I don't believe, yeah, this was on the 10th. And this is one of the big news stories that broke, and that is that the Chiefs have added 2 more years to the contract of one Patrick Mahomes. Patrick is now going to make a total value of $504.75 million across his contract, making him the first NFL deal valued at over $500 million. Steven, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, well, for one, this is history into itself. I mean, and Patrick Mahomes, Mahomes has had the championship pedigree for a long time.
Now, there's a
And
guy.
yeah, now here's a guy. I think that Mahomes has earned every single penny when it comes to all of these numbers. And I know when he won his first Super Bowl, everybody was questioning it, in the long term grand scheme of things, is this worth it? At first, we were skeptical about it, but in the long run, it is worth it because the fact that he's delivered 2 more titles. They went to a third consecutive Super Bowl against Philadelphia a couple years ago, and they ended up getting blown out. But Mahomes still guided them to that third consecutive shot at the title. And you know he is determined to get back on the field this year. And if you're Kansas City, especially him, you are going to do whatever you can to get him out there on the field for week one. And the ACL injury, obviously, it's a crippling injury to some players. And some of these guys, they don't recover. But knowing Mahomes and how determined he is going to do whatever he can to get out there on the field. And the fact that they're going to, like you said, a couple more years added to his deal, and he'll be with the franchise until he's at least 38 years old, 16 years in the NFL if this comes to fruition, and we'll see what happens. I mean, I think he'll win another championship. It's just a matter of when, it's going to happen. But without a doubt, his success with the Chiefs, the consecutive AFC championship games that he had, the consecutive Super Bowls that he had, going to 5 out of 6 of those. And again, I mean, it is so hard to win in this league. It is so hard to win in any major sport from that matter. And anytime you can get success, and as long as you show those numbers and the consistency, sometimes good things will come your way. And this is what's happening for him. I think that in the long run, I think this will definitely help them in the long run. Maybe they'll get some other pieces around him because obviously, and Kelsey's playing for another at least couple of years. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. With the Mahomes now part is, and let me tell you, he got paid handsomely. So did the refs, but he got paid very handsomely in this deal, and yes, he does deserve it. He is a very talented player. He's an absolute gem of an athlete. He's going to be one of those players that goes down as a Hall of Famer once his career is over. And there's absolutely no doubt that he's worth every single cent that the Chiefs have paid him. Now, the question is, he's coming off a very devastating injury. He's coming off an injury that usually can sometimes can change a player's outcome for their career. Very similar to an Achilles tear. Torn ACLs are sometimes the end all be all for players. And it makes me wonder, will this affect his move? I mean, obviously now medicine is different from what it was 10, 20 years ago. Obviously, these players are like super athletes. They're like super soldiers now because of the amount of different therapies, whether it's stem cell, whether it's immunotherapies, the hyperbolic chambers, things like that help speed up the process of healing. It's just become so different. And we've seen a lot of players who get paid a lot of money and then they're busts in the last, whatever, how much of their deal. We saw that. We've been seeing that for years in baseball. Look at players like Giancarlo Stanton. Look at who was another big one? I'm trying to remember. Giancarlo was a huge one, and then there was another one before him that was paid a shit ton of money and turned out to be one of the biggest busts out there.
Oh, if I'm not mistaken, didn't he play for the Yankees as well?
I think he did. I can't remember his name.
I know exactly who you're talking about, but for the life of me, I cannot remember his name. But they paid him a handsome sum of money, and he just didn't deliver. I mean, every time he would go up to try to hit a ball and get somebody on base and runners in scoring position, he did not come through. Um, as a matter of fact, let me try to do the old Google research here. I think I know who. Was it Gary? Oh God.
What are you thinking of?
Sanchez.
Yeah, Sanchez. Yes,
Was it Sanchez you were thinking of?
I was thinking of him, and then there was another one. Oh, the one I'm questioning still is Juan Soto. Obviously, he's still got a lot to. He's young, but he's still got a lot to learn.
Well, here's
And
my
I
thing
just
when it comes to Soto, real quick. He had that great year with the Yankees that took him to the World Series against the Dodgers. And then he thinks, oh, I can leave and go to the Mets and get paid a shit ton of money. And that hasn't bowled out so well for him.
No, it hasn't. But back to the Mahomes thing, my concern is, will he be able to hold up physically to be able to show, yes, right now he's worth all that money, but the question is in 5 years, in 2 years, in 3 years, is he going to be worth that much money? Will injuries catch up to him? Will he get into legal trouble? Will he get himself suspended? And I don't wish nothing bad on Patrick, at all. I respect Patrick and I respect his play, but it's just a matter. It's one of those things you got to think about when you're paid that much money to play, to do anything, and then you end up not being worth it in the long run, or you end up not being worth it towards the end.
That's a good point, and that's a fair assessment too, because we've seen athletes across all sports that have a great start, great success, and then they reach this adversity situation where injuries start to mount up. And a guy you know very well as far as watching him, Derrick Rose. I mean, Derrick Rose, when he was with Chicago, he was an electric player, highlight after highlight, won the MVP. But the thing that crippled him was knee injuries and major knee injuries. And he was never the
Mhm.
same player after he was injured. And the thing about Mahomes, and you brought up a good point, can he sustain? Can he avoid major injuries? Because we have seen major athletes, whether you're running backs, shooting guards, forwards, point guards, you name it, across every sport. We have seen these players that we've seen some players that have had these very nagging injuries that will change how they play the rest of their career.
Yeah, and it's one of those things we're gonna be keeping an eye out for. So, as we get ready to move on, Randy Giron is coming into the studio. Let's talk about this. Center Air Brew for the Miami Dolphins has agreed on a 3-year $52.5 million contract extension that includes $37 million of that money guaranteed. This deal makes Brewer one of the highest paid centers in the league in a deal done by Kyle McCarthy of Athletes First.
You're paying this guy $52 million, $37 million guaranteed? Dude, Miami doesn't even have a quarterback.
Sure. Well, hell, they paid Devon a chain, so. Hey, Randy, what's going on, my
What's
friend?
up, brother?
Oh, hey, sorry. Hey, what's going on? How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good, man. We're just getting
I was wondering
started.
if I had my. I was wanting to make sure I had my mic on. I'm sorry. How are you?
You all good,
How's
man?
everybody
How about
doing?
you?
Doing good. I didn't miss anything. You guys were talking about the cheats, so I'm good.
No, you didn't miss anything about the chefs. You're fine.
Chefs, yeah, them too.
As Kevin will call them.
The chefs. Mm.
Patrick Mahomes.
Good deal. Everybody.
He got paid very well, Randy, and then he's going to take some of that salary and give it to the refs.
Nice. He needs to the refs. Yeah, they're. On,
I wonder when
they're already on the
SGA
team.
gets paid again, is he going to pay some of his salary to the referees?
Yeah, between him and Mahomes, they're living good.
Is he going to pay his money to the flopping association?
Yes. Him and LeBron.
I swear, every time they're on the ground, I think I need to throw them back in the water.
Yes. Very much so, but good to be here tonight, fellas.
Yep, glad to have you, my friend. We're just rolling down some NFL news, and we're going to keep going here with some news about Tucker Kraft. The Packers tight end expects to start week 1 with no restrictions from the torn ACL he suffered last season.
Good for him. They suffered after he went down, it seemed. He was very, very vital part, so that's good that'll get him back.
Yeah, as much as I despise Green Bay, and you know that from being on the show with me, being a Bears fan, you know how much I despise those fucking cheeseheads. I'm glad Tucker Kraft is back. I'm glad for Green Bay that he is back because he, like you said, Randy, he was a very integral piece to that team. And when he went down, it seemed like everybody else was going down with him. You know, we saw it from
Right. Yeah.
the multiple injuries, multiple issues. We saw it from beginning to end, especially those games with Chicago, where we saw, Malik Willis come in for Jordan Love and all that. And the craziness happened there, and the possibility of was it the running back having to come in and play quarterback because they didn't have another quarterback on their roster.
Right. Yeah.
We all thought Josh Jacobs was going to have to come in and play QB for a minute.
Wow.
Just don't get charged again, Mr. Jacobs. Seriously.
Yeah, please.
Because seriously, when Tucker Kraft went out with that ACL injury, there went Green Bay's offense in a nutshell. Just done. I mean, because he was having a great game against the Steelers last year. And when he went out, I was like, well, there goes Jordan Love's trusty old blanket, if you will.
Oh yeah. Here's some other news for you. We talked about contract extensions earlier. Here's another one, and that is head coach Sean Payton for the Denver Broncos. He's been given a 5-year contract.
Is that with rollbacks or no?
I'm sure they get like the employee discount on all great value brand merch.
Right, yeah.
Discount double check.
That's it too.
Okay, Steven, you should be banned from the show for that. We had other people get banned from groups for more serious reasons. You need to just get banned for that. Even mentioning discount double check, I should backhand you so hard you'll be able to see again.
Oh my God. Damn.
What did the five fingers say to the face?
Snap!
So,
Oh man, but I'm happy for
oh,
Sean. I'm happy
yeah.
for Sean Payton though, because Sean's one of the good coaches in the league. I mean, what he did with New Orleans and getting them to the championship, and then getting Denver, you know, as close as they did, was pretty damn impressive. Especially with Bo Nix being injured and all that stuff, man. I know he's in your division, so it makes you cringe. I know.
Yeah, I'm not okay with that, but yeah, hey, get paid if you can. Get paid if you can, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of the Saints, I got to talk to you about this. The Saints brought out their or posted their special photo sessions for the players, and one of the
Mhm.
coolest ones is, of course, Brock Rex Steiner, the
Yeah.
son of Big Papa Pump himself, who joined the New Orleans Saints. And of course, he wore his father's chainmail, posed like Scott, and had a big gold world heavyweight title strapped across his shoulder.
Yeah, his number should be like that fraction that he was
60
trying to
30 two
say.
thirds.
Yeah, that should be his jersey number.
62, yeah, 63 or 62 and 2/3%.
Or it should say Samoa Joe's fat. I don't know. He kept saying that he was fat. What terrible.
Samoa Joe's fat. This nigga
Yeah,
fat Tub Lord.
yeah, that's all he had to say. He kept saying it over and over again. And nothing against Steiner. Steiner's probably one of the toughest dudes ever, but Joe Joe would mop the floor with him in a real fight.
Yeah,
Just watch him and Necro Butcher fight if you ever want to.
Oh, dude. So
yeah,
speaking of, and not to go off on a tangent, but there is going to be an episode on Dark Side of the Ring next month. After they're through with the 3-part TNA episodes, it's going to be Necro Butcher and Joe in that episode. So that'll be interesting and fascinating.
I cannot wait to see that. That is like the craziest thing I've ever seen in my
the
life.
real life, dude. The real life story behind it, which I read about a few
Mhm.
months ago, was unfucking. It was just a matter of respect
Yeah, it
between
wasn't that
Joe and
wasn't.
Necro. Yeah, it was
Yeah, and
disrespect.
the crazy part about that whole match is at the end. You see it at the end. After all of that, Necro Butcher's still ready to go. He's still trying to fight him. And they're trying to go back to the locker room, and Butcher's still trying to fight him, which is insane. That is absolutely insane. I cannot wait to see that behind the scenes of that stuff. That's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be nuts.
But no, it's really cool that, the Scott's family obviously has a history in playing football in some way or fashion. I mean, obviously Rick's son, who would later to become on Braun Breaker in WWE, he was a former Denver Bronco, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, Bronson Rex Steiner. Yep,
Nice.
Yep. So
yep,
very
Bronson.
cool that both their sons at one point played football.
and
Wow.
even Bronson said, and even Brock said that he said that if the NFL does not pan out, he's going straight into the wrestling business.
There you go. Oh
Yep.
man, just both of them two dudes playing wrestling together. Oh, that would be amazing as a tag team.
Yep.
Yep.
Just don't get
Definitely.
him near the vision, please.
Yep.
Don't let him tackle or spear you.
Yeah, really.
Might have that Braun Breaker site genetic come through on that side. We don't know, but um, so let's keep going down the line here, guys. And former Raiders wide receiver Henry Ruggs was denied parole nearly 5 years after killing a woman in a car crash in Las Vegas. So
Dang.
he stays in jail.
Yeah. I don't know why he would think he would even get parole. That's that whatever he's serving is probably not enough for that crime or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He caught one of the best passes that Derek Carr ever threw,
Yeah,
and for the Raiders that time. Oh my God, Ruggs was going to be something. Those two together were going to be something. He just chose the wrong path there.
yeah, he did. Going down the line here, former NFL linebacker Deron Lee. Sprockets, hey, Sprockets.
He spooked him. Sorry about that, folks. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good. Former NFL linebacker Deron Lee has been indicted on a murder charge in the death of his partner. We talked about this a few weeks ago when the first news broke that Deron Lee was arrested in connection to that. Now he's being indicted on, I believe, first degree murder. So he could be spending the rest of his life in jail.
Damn.
So,
Cool.
but
Former Buckeye too.
yep,
Mm.
Stephon Diggs got away with another one, and by that I mean the NFL has closed out its review of the matter involving Stephon Diggs and his former chef. It said there was insufficient evidence to support finding of a personal conduct policy violation.
Mm. That stuff probably happens way more than we hear about. And it's unfortunate.
Yeah,
But well, he got. I guess I don't want to say he got lucky, but yeah, that's wild.
The fact that, again, he, again, like, he is a receiver. Does he have talent? Yes. But he has a track record that is not trustworthy at all. And
Mm.
not surprised at all, no NFL team has picked up Stephon Diggs ever since potentially he could have been charged with those charges. But his reputation is not the greatest.
Right. Yeah.
I will be shocked if any NFL team tries to pick him up this year.
True.
yeah, I could definitely. I don't see him get picked up, but you never know. Somebody who might need a good hand might want to take the risk on him. We'll see what happens. But maybe the Jets will. Speaking of the Jets, right here, the Jets and standout guard Joe Tipman have agreed on a big new 4-year contract extension. 4 years, 66.4 mil. That includes 34.9 of it guaranteed money.
Good. Yeah. Good for him. You know, this the contracts are getting out of hand. I mean, there's a lot of guys I've seen recently that I'm not even really sure of who they are getting guaranteed good money, and but I also think that guards are underpaid. Offensive linemen are underpaid. They got to deal with Miles Garrett and Max Crosby and all those jokers every night, man, or every week, man. You couldn't pay me enough to do that, I don't think. Well, I guess you could, but yeah. Now that would probably be worth it. Before these guys would only make a couple $100,000. It seemed. They were never getting any good big contracts that I can remember. The Raiders signed the center from Baltimore. That was probably one of the biggest contracts I've seen for a while for offensive linemen. So
Yeah, I do agree, and that's why they created that award at the NFL Honors to honor those offensive linemen and defensive linemen, to honor those
right,
players who don't get the recognition that they deserve for the hard work they put in, making sure that the quarterback is open, making sure that the running lane stays open for a wide receiver or a running back. and make sure that they give the quarterback enough time to throw the ball or move out of the pocket for a different play.
Right.
And the shocking part was Joe Tooney. I mean, yes, he's a 10-year vet, but for coming into the Bears and doing it the way he did for Caleb, and for him to get it, I thought was unbelievable. And
Right. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm glad that they're finally recognizing these players and the value that they have for their team.
Yeah, they should make just as much as the quarterbacks because they got to protect the quarterback.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
they're getting their butts kicked on a regular basis, especially if their defense ain't any good. The team's defense ain't any good. They're on
yeah,
the field all the time.
And
They'll
that's
be
a
on the
good
field
point
all
too,
the time.
because like if you're trying, because the quarterback gets all the love and all the praise and admiration, like, oh, look how great he is, dude. Be praising the offensive line too, because that O line is just important as the quarterback. The O line is the most important part of an NFL team or football team in general, because they're the ones that keep the quarterback upright.
Definitely, yeah. For the rusher, for the running back to get, I don't know, 2,000 yards like Barkley did a few years ago. Stuff like that, man. Unsung heroes for sure.
yeah, absolutely. Um, Moving on here, James Pierce Jr., who is the defensive end, speaking of defensive players, for the Atlanta Falcons, has returned to the team's Flowery Branch Training Center for the first time since being charged with aggravated battery and fleeing law enforcement on February 7th. He's
Whoa.
expected to take part in this week's mandatory minicamp, but he is not anticipated to address the media about those allegations and charges. So,
Hmm.
Hmm.
oh, and you know who reported to the minicamp for the Cowboys?
Yeah, I saw that.
George Pickens.
Mr. Pickens,
Yep, he avoids a fine doing that.
Yeah, they all talk big game till they start taking money from them.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah,
he'll be one of those.
definitely.
He'll be one of those players that is out of the league for 5 years, and you'll hear that he can't pay. You know, oh, it's hard to make any money. I'm only making $6 million a year from my old contract. Stuff like that. Just dumb.
Yeah. And I mean, we got to address this, and this is unfortunate, awful news. And um, and that is that the NFL lost a beloved member of their family, and that is Aldon Smith, the former San Francisco 49er. He
Right.
unexpectedly passed away 2 days ago. I believe he was 38 years old,
36.
36 years old. No word yet on the cause of death, but um, it was announced today that his family has decided to send his brain to medical institutes in Boston, which I'm assuming is the National Concussion Institution,
Hmm.
to take a look at his brain for possible CTE damage. And of course, heading that is a great man by the name of Christopher Nowinski. Now, for those of you who don't know, Chris Nowinski is a Harvard graduate. He is also a former WWE superstar. He was a man who suffered 2 straight concussions in a row and retired from the industry because he suffered post-concussion syndrome and other issues. However, after he had left the wrestling business, he had decided to donate his further time and research to the diagnosis and the research of CTE on sports athletes. Now, it's a very difficult thing because the only way you can test a sports athlete's brain is unfortunately post-mortem after they've passed away.
Right. Yeah.
So many players who we've known, players like Junior Seau, um, many many others, Javon Belcher, who have either committed suicide or have done violent acts and lost their lives.
What was his
Wrestlers like Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit and uh,
test?
Test and Mike Awesome and many others have also had their brains examined for CTE damage because of taking unprotected chair shots to the skull and undiagnosed concussions from maybe slamming your head on the mat and things like that. Chris Sawicki's done an incredible job.
If I'm
So
not
I just wanted to bring.
mistaken, I think the player's name was his name Mike Webster or Weber. I think. Help
Yeah.
me out. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, for the Pittsburgh, yeah, the center.
he was the first diagnosed player with CTE.
Right, yeah, he was part of those Steeler Super Bowl teams. He was a cornerstone for Terry Bradshaw. Yes, sir.
Yeah, he was the first major athlete to be diagnosed with CTE. I mean, and that's the thing too, is that again, people don't understand. And for those that don't know, um before I got into doing stuff like this, I wanted to be a wrestler, growing up. And when Chris and Eddie, well Eddie's was just shocking, into itself. But when Chris's death happened, that right there stopped me from wanting to be a wrestler, just because I was like, man, this is not for everybody. I mean, the physical pain that they go through, beating their bodies up daily, night after night, and used to be on a week to week basis, 300 times a year. It's not for the faint of heart. And unfortunately, we're coming up on the anniversary of Chris's passing, 19 years ago next week, and it single-handedly changed the wrestling business. And we've seen it now with some of these football athletes, like you just mentioned with Junior Seau and these athletes that have had multitude of concussions, and who knows
Mhm.
if Smith had undiagnosed concussions, because that can lead to sudden death, and it's unfortunate. And from all accounts, he was a good man, and his teammates, his coaches, his friends talked very highly of him. And
Yeah, he was
uh,
a former Raider as well.
yep, he is. And he's one of the greatest defensive players to play in the modern era. And I would not be surprised to come week one if the Niners do honor him. And I also wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders do as well, since he did play with the Raiders organization. So
Yeah, they did post. They post something about him, his passing not too long ago,
yeah, I wouldn't
and
be
then
surprised if week one if did that both teams do that.
right, definitely. Yeah, he had just done like some charity work
Hmm.
a couple days
He
prior,
was del-
or
he was delivering pizzas.
that's right, just some charities.
And he did talk about, there was a video that surfaced that he was talking about how, I've gone through some stuff, I've had a rough patch here, a rough stretch, and things I'm going through. And again, we don't, it sounds like to me what he was talking about, how he was, going through some struggles, whether, I mean, we don't know if it's drugs, alcohol, both, whatever. But again, you don't know what these athletes go through behind closed doors when the cameras are off and they're not on the field.
Right, yes, sir.
So,
It's
And
terrible. You know, oh, go ahead. Oh,
all right, I'm back. Um,
okay.
but yeah, it's an all it's and by the way, we just want to, reiterate Eddie's death was obviously in a large heart. Obviously, his death was
Right.
a completely different story compared to Benoit's, which was more driven by more than likely his mental and emotional state. But,
yeah,
you
again,
know,
and there's no telling what the concussions that he had, did to him, and same thing with Smith. I mean, again, for all we know, he was going through, struggles of his own outside of his, during his playing career, after his playing career. Again, we don't know.
but also
So,
you got to think after losing these players and losing these people, yeah, there's been greater care in brain health, through concussion protocols with different techniques. I mean, with the whole Eddie Guerrero situation, the wellness program came into effect, and then the concussion protocol came in after Benoit's issues. So, you got to think that shortly was around that time the NFL also adopted the same thing, over the years with, like I said, losing guys like Junior Seau and that too. They decided to adopt, concussion protocol procedures and being able to diagnose concussions quicker to get players off the field so that way they don't damage themselves further.
And now we've seen it
Obviously,
in the NBA happen too, where these guys get concussed or these guys get concussed. The minute they have a concussion, they are out of the game immediately. Like when Wemby was out for the Spurs in the playoffs this past season against Portland, he probably wanted to go back in the game, but they said, no, we're not going to have you go out there and risk yourself.
Right.
yeah, and that's a great thing is real quick, Randy, is obviously I would say when it comes to sports, the least sport with the least concussions obviously is the NBA because it's not as heavy of a contact sport. Where I think the NHL and NFL are the two top ones for
Oh yeah.
concussions and
100.
brain health and brain damage because
Right.
of because of the physicality. How
Mhm.
and then
Definitely.
so
And like you said something about you know um, the physical toll it takes on your body. I mean, we can talk all day about how wrestling's fake, but you don't fake 290-pound guys running at you really fast and or jumping off things and landing on you. You don't fake it. You can fake the outcome, you can fake whatever, but everything else is pretty much real. And
absolutely, yeah,
for in the NFL, as well, like that Mike Webster, he had guys like Lyle Zato and Ted Hendricks, and me, not Mean Joe Green, but Dick Butkus coming after him. He was getting hit
yeah.
all the way around two ways a Sunday, and the same thing, you know, any of those guys in the NFL are those like Miles Garrett and the like T.J. Watt. They're more or less just really big linebackers now. They're just fast as hell. So you can't fake any of that stuff. You can't fake it. Anything will ring your bell. Look what happened to that DeVar Hamlin.
Oh
That
my
was the most
God, yes.
freak thing ever, ever. So I mean, it can happen to anyone, anytime on this in a game. So it's
I
like,
mean, to think about it too, and again, not to go on these tangents, but it just goes to show you that you have to, do what you can to protect yourself because when Hamlin got hit by T. Higgins, he hit him in the right rhythm
mhm,
that stopped his heart. And thank God that the medics were there, to help him and to stabilize him. And it was a story that lit up the sports world. And this is why this violent game has its consequences. And people need to learn that you can't, when they tell you don't go back in, because all likelihood, Smith potentially, in my opinion, I think had a very severe case of CTE.
I
And
would
oh,
die.
I think his CTE, and again, some of these CTE cases are worse than others. And I mean, whether it's Mike Webster, or Junior Seau, and just,
mhm,
again, we don't know. This is why, and I appreciate the passion, for these young athletes, that want to do this for a living. But man, sometimes you got to sit back and reflect and go, is this worth it? Like I understand now, somebody's got to do it because somebody's got to make the money because it's a money making machine. Professional sports is. But at the end of the day, sometimes I think some of these athletes they don't think about the long term effects.
right.
And
And
they go hard, and they push hard, and they go for it. And I get it, you want to win, you want to be battle tested, and oh, I'm a tough guy. Yeah, that's great, but is it worth it in the end? Because this CTE stuff, it ain't no joke.
well, with Mike Webster and those guys like that, and I'm just putting it out there, like Chris Benoit, you know, when he did things differently than everybody else. It was probably it's real to me, God damn it, real to me, damn it.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys,
Yeah.
and I mean, you can look at that dude's neck and know that he was like built for that. But I'm telling you what, when he come off the top rope, you could fake the headbutt. You do it
You
these
couldn't
days.
do that with
And
Chris because
he didn't
Chris
do it
would
back
just
then.
launch himself.
Yeah, he didn't do that back then. He wasn't faking anything.
No.
He
And
was
the
never
thing
faking.
and the thing too is, I mean, like when you look at the things that have happened, and ever since and the NFL's gotten strict on this, the NBA has gotten strict on this, and the NHL has. I mean, every time these athletes have gone through concussion protocols, 90% of the time they don't go back in because
Mhm.
they are not reliable at that point. Just like in
Right.
wrestling, 90% of the time when a wrestler, when he or she has a concussion, the referee will stop it.
Yeah,
90,
they
I say,
recently started doing that.
yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you really think about it. I mean, we all between the three of us, we've been watching wrestling for forever, and
The biggest
they really
incidents
haven't
in the
stopped,
last
they
decade
didn't
was
stop it.
Goldberg and Undertaker, and
Mhm.
Goldberg was concussed before the match even happened. And
Yeah,
again, if somebody
Well,
would have,
that fucking idiot headbutted the steel door. He deserved that. Fucking
yeah, he
dumbass.
sure did.
yeah, he definitely
Wow.
deserved that. I
Same
mean,
with that. But what about the match with Goldberg and Bret Hart? They didn't stop that match.
nope.
He kicked
No,
his freaking
no.
head off.
Let's talk about this. What about the Undertaker and Brock Lesnar WrestleMania when Brock broke the streak? Undertaker
Mhm.
got concussed, but Undertaker, he's an old school warrior, and he will go into the final bell race. He even said he doesn't even remember some of the match because he
Yeah,
got dinged, and
right.
he even said it was no heat between him and Lesnar, and said it was just shit that happens.
Yeah.
And we've seen that lots of times, and to kind of, on my end, anyways, to wrap this up on my end, and you guys can
Hmm.
continue. We look at this situation. We look at like a Benoit. Benoit's brain was that he was only in his late 30s, early 40s. Benoit's
Hmm.
brain was that of an 85-year-old Alzheimer's patient.
Right.
That's how
Yes.
badly damaged. That's from unprotected chair shots. That's from
Yeah.
that diving headbutt, which, by the way, Harley Race said that he wished he had never invented, because not only did the effects come to Chris, but it also, with the neck issues that it could cause too, left Dynamite Kid Tom Billington in the wheelchair.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. Hmm.
So
And Brian Danielson was injured
yeah,
on the show for a little while, and he was doing the flying headbutt. So
but
again, I mean, it's insane, and and sometimes, and also with these football players, they go so hard, they play so hard, they use the crown of their head sometimes to do these vicious and violent hits. And I understand you're thinking, I'm a man, I could take the dude. You only have so much, you know, bumps on your card, no matter what sport it is
You
or what
know,
activities you're doing.
right. Recently I was reading something, and you hear stuff, and this is really going out on a like out of the realm of what we're talking about here, but I'll bring it back in. But like Vince McMahon is a total crazy man. He's just a megalomaniac, nuts. But when Mick Foley told him that he sometimes couldn't find his way home, he said, "That's it. You're never wrestling again." Because he was worried about him. But then then you hear all this other stuff about McMahon. So you just never know what to think about him. You know what I mean? It's just wild. But with Mick Foley, yeah, there's sometimes where he doesn't even know where he's at.
Like when he wrestled Taker a Hell in a Cell in Pittsburgh in King of the Ring '98, and he got
Oh my
concussed in
god.
that match. And
Yeah, my,
Mick said, I didn't even remember the match, and he didn't remember using the tax, and that's how badly concussed he was. you know,
Yeah,
and
I remember that story vividly. He looked at Taker, and he goes, "Mark, did I use the thumbtacks?" And and Undertaker just squarely looked at me and goes, "Look at your arms, Mick." And Mick looked up and saw, 30 tacks embedded in his right arm from when he
Yeah.
took one of those bumps. And he doesn't remember it
Okay.
because he got dinged. But to kind of wrap this up, because we got a few other news stories to get into, and I also want to get into the Stanley Cup Finals and the
Yes, sir.
NBA Finals. We definitely, we hope it was not a suicide attempt. We hope it wasn't anything of
No,
that sort. We
right.
hope
Yes, sir.
definitely.
maybe it was just a major health condition. We send our best to the entire Smith family. Every player who's ever played with him, any fan who has met him,
Yeah,
anybody who's supported Alden Smith, we send our condolences, we send our prayers, we send our positive thoughts to you guys, and
definitely.
may Alden
Definitely.
Smith rest in peace.
One of the best players ever.
Yes,
Mhm.
sir.
Great guy.
All right, let's go ahead and let's move forward to some other news. Former Browns and UFL wide receiver kick returner Kaden Davis has signed a 1-year deal with the Chicago Bears. So, new addition to the Bears roster there. Rashee Rice was released from jail today after serving his 30 days for violating his probation. As soon as he got towards the door, he ran out the door into a black SUV, which took off. And then the funny thing is, somebody posted a video of that same black SUV blowing through a crosswalk.
Ha!
And somebody says, "Man, apparently he didn't learn." I'm like, he's not the one driving.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, so now he's out of jail. He's still recovering from the surgery that he recently had. So, um,
Gee.
but let's talk about this, and that is that one of the best players in New Orleans Saints history is coming back home for one season, and that is Cam Jordan.
Hmm.
He has signed a 1-year deal, which also will be his last.
Wow.
One of the best defensive players to ever play in this great sport. I mean, he has been knocking quarterbacks out with sacks and making crucial tackles and just doing a great job throughout his entire campaign in the NFL. And just, again, one of the greats to do it. And enjoy your final year, my man, because you deserve it.
Definitely.
And yes, sir, definitely deserves this final year. Um, let's go with the Stanley Cup Finals, and man, what a game
What a
series it's been.
series.
But congratulations are in order to the Carolina Hurricanes, who have now
Wow. Yeah.
secured the Stanley Cup Championship. And not only that, I want to throw out a special congratulations to Jacob Slavin, only the second man in history to win both the Stanley Cup and an Olympic gold medal in ice hockey.
That's amazing right there.
Amazing,
Yeah, that's
amazing,
good.
amazing,
That's so
amazing.
good. Yeah, I'm just mad that they went sick. They didn't do another game because Game 7 Stanley Cup, man, that's where it's at. That's some good stuff right there. But the
What a
Golden
great
Knights just ran out
series.
yeah, the Golden Knights they just ran out of steam, and the Hurricanes are a well-oiled machine. They've been
And
playing that
Brandon
well.
Bussey, my God, what a performance by this young man in the final couple of games. To
Yeah,
take out their star goalie Anderson and then putting in this rookie at 27 years of age to play in the biggest games of his life. And he
yeah,
delivered. I mean,
yeah.
I counted like 5 times or so that Vegas had, no pun intended, golden opportunities to cash
Right.
in goals. But every time Bussy was around to stop the puck from going in. I mean, he made save after crucial save. just an incredible just poise and that determination, to stay within the game. And no matter how tired you get, you persevere through the pain, through the agony, and he did that, especially in game 6.
It's wild. Hockey seems to be the only sport this happens in, but like I think it's because they have footage on the other goalies or they've played the other goalie before, but anytime like another goalie comes in, there's always the goalie always seems to have the advantage, and you think it would be the other way around because
That is a good point, Randy.
those guys always play, are playing their hearts out every night, and then this goalie just comes in out of nowhere. But it's because he it's a testament to the goalie too, because obviously they've been paying attention to
Hmm.
the games, studying as well with the team, and just waiting for that opportunity.
And
And
studying for things on the fly, when looking at the details of the
definitely
game happening in real time. And that's the thing is in these crucial spots, you have to perform at the highest of levels.
right, definitely. And I'll say it to the end of time, till I'm off this earth. But hockey goalies are probably the best athletes. They're just getting beat up all the way around,
Yes.
and
Yes.
and then to come in like that, and
Hmm.
and I think the real story I always wondered about, the real story should be what happened with Anderson. Like, not, I mean, it's one thing where, okay, let's make a change. They're getting blown out or something.
Hmm.
But like, they took him out and they never even give a reason. And then like the one game, he wasn't even the backup to the backup. Like, the backup was
Crazy.
the guy that like could play goalie for either team.
And
They
that's
call him
crazy
the
because
bug.
now, because I'm
What they call him, the
wondering,
bug. You know?
hmm yeah, because I'm wondering, did this happen in game 3? Because game 3 was the infamous game when Vegas was up 4 goals to
Mhm.
Carolina. And in that fourth or in that third period, excuse me, they scored 3 goals in 39 seconds, Carolina did. Now,
Yeah.
give Vegas credit. They stuck to their guy because Hart was in there and he was, he was playing, gutsy, all the way. He had his struggles at times, but he also made some incredible saves as well. But you made
Yeah, he
a great
did.
point there, Randy, because I mean he's been their star goalie for a long time. And I'm wondering
Mhm.
what was compelling for the coaching staff to go, hey, let's get this young kid Bussy a try. Because man, did it pay dividends in the long run.
Yeah, see, yeah, they gambled and pay. That's it too, man. That's exactly what it is with hockey. It's a hunch. Because I mean, it's weird to me. Because I'm not that I love hockey. I love watching hockey and all that. But whenever if you hear like them talk about X's and O's for hockey,
Mm-hmm.
it's funny. They're like, yeah, we just gotta hit more, get more pucks on goal. Like, do you need a coach for that? I think every single player on this team knows that. How many teams in the league know that? It's just funny to me. Like there can't be too much strategy. There can't be too many plays you can run
Sure.
in hockey. You know what I mean? It's just funny to me. Like I said, maybe it's just because I'm not that big of I haven't watched it that long or anything like that, or don't know the nuances. I still don't know like a lot of the penalties for crying out loud, but I know that like the coach, you can just throw anybody in there, and it sounds funny, but today the Knights said they're not bringing back Tortorella. They're not even
That
bringing him back.
that
He
is
was the coach
insane.
from March till now, March till Sunday, and they're not even going to bring him back. Like he took him to the Stanley Cup, and they're like, nah, yeah, that's okay. But the thing is, that Tortorella will find a job. He'll be hired into the next high profile opening. He'll be the coach.
And not to be that guy, but it wouldn't surprise me if karma comes to bite the Golden Knights in the ass because think about it, guys. We've seen it from every major sports league, whether it be MLB, NFL, NBA, NHL, you name it. We've seen it where these coaches, these managers, they get fired leading their teams to the promised land, and then, hey, you know what? We'll go with somebody else. And then they don't make it back for, a good amount of years.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of times it don't work in your favor. And think about it. Carolina went through struggles,
Mm-hmm.
after they won the Stanley Cup in 2006. They missed the
Right.
playoffs for like 3, 4 years in a row. And then they missed the playoffs like 9 years in a row. Then they got back to the playoffs and they kept fighting. They kept at it. They kept adding pieces to see what would work. And finally, they have built a juggernaut in Raleigh for the first time in 20 years. That is a true title contender. They had one of the best. They had the best record in the Eastern Conference. They ran through everybody pretty much in the East. They didn't lose but one game in the conference finals, and that was to Montreal. And to do that, that's very damn impressive. And I knew that Golden Knights series was going to be a tough series for Carolina, but if anybody could do it, it is that version of that Carolina team because they were very well coached, very well poised, they were connected. And that right there is a theme with the Hurricanes and with the New York Knicks. The word of the year for 2026, connected. Because you have to be connected with your brothers out there on the ice, on the floor, on the field. Whatever your sport is, you have to be connected in the moments, the adversities that you go through on a nightly and daily basis. Even when it's not going your way, if you stay the course and you absolutely have belief in yourself, you can overcome the most adversity ever thrown at you. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
Carolina played a great series. Vegas played a great series. It was a high scoring series. In the end, somebody had to win the Stanley Cup. And for the first time in 20 years, Raleigh! Yep.
So, hey, I'll tell you what. There's something else got to be said for Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
They've only been in the league for 9 years and
Mm-hmm.
have been to the Stanley Cup 3 times.
Mm-hmm. Won a
And
couple years
then
ago.
and then in their first season was in the Stanley Cup. I've never heard of that in my life.
Now
That is
I know
amazing.
their record in the Stanley Cup Finals isn't great, but just getting there,
No,
getting there.
getting there. That's amazing. Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of L.A. Lakers, numbers, from back in the '60s. Boston Celtics making it to the finals consecutively. Like this is unheard of, and to be an expansion team to be doing this, it's very impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially in your inaugural season
Mm-hmm.
to almost win the Stanley Cup. That's
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's unreal.
I know the city of Raleigh is going to be jumping around on Saturday during that parade. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a party.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I actually talked to a boss today at my work that's actually retiring, but he's a big Carolina Hurricanes fan, and
Uh-huh.
he was actually at one of the games, the Stanley Cup final games.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Nice.
I was very jealous. I was like, oh my gosh, that is too real. That's
My
so great.
cousin who lives pretty much next door to me, he is a huge Carolina Hurricanes fan. Like he loves that team. He's been to so many games. He's like, dude, the energy in that building is insane. I'm like, I can believe it
I
because
wish I could. I wish I could say the same about my team. I've never been to a Blackhawks game, but I've been to several watch parties. I've been to one in the city of Chicago during the 2013 Stanley Cup playoffs,
oh my god, that was crazy that year.
and I was literally like, "Where the hell am I?
They
And why
scored
is
what,
this?"
2 goals in how many seconds, Eds, to win that game? They scored like two
I don't.
goals,
Wasn't it like 9 seconds or something, or 10
some,
seconds or something?
something like that, because they scored the one goal, then they took the puck back, and then they scored again to win. It was
Mhm.
It
crazy.
was crazy, man. I remember that. Me and my dad went. That was just amazing.
And
My
again,
dad.
there's nothing like having those moments with your people. When it's your team that wins, oh, it's the best, most satisfying feeling in the world as a sports fan.
When the White Sox won the World Series in 2005, this young 14-year-old kid, man, was fucking jumping, excited, happy as hell to see my team and my boys get to hold up that World Series trophy. It was And then happy for my father that he got to see the Cubs for the first time in his lifetime, and unfortunately the only time. But I do want to get off the sports subject for just a minute because I do have two entertainment news reports that relate to us in our worlds. Mystical, of course, if you guys know him very well for his mega hit "Shake It Ass," also known as "Shake It Fast," has been sentenced to 20 years in jail for rape.
Whoa.
And while he's in jail, he better watch himself.
Ah,
Couldn't resist.
man, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yep. Just it was just announced today. And as many of you know, the Sphere has had a lot of things go on. We've had movies. We've had concerts up the ass. We've had the Kenny Chesney residency. We've had No Doubt recently do a residency. We've had the Wizard of Oz play there. Metallica is going to be coming there soon. But
Mhm.
the next movie that's coming there, if you're going to watch it, you will be shivering with anticipation because it's time to do the time warp again. Rocky Horror Picture Show coming to
Whoa.
the Sphere.
Nice.
The 1975 cult classic and one of my all-time favorite movies is coming to the Sphere. That would be one where
There'll be a lot of bread thrown.
bread, rice. Better get out the
Right.
newspaper because here comes the squirt
Okay.
guns.
The newspaper. I was just gonna say that too. Yeah.
Oh, dude, the
You don't know.
apples during the Wizard of Oz, and they were showed that film in the Sphere, and just apples just start just dropping from the ceiling like that is insane. And the
Dude, they
fact
were
that they're
foam. They were foam. They were like stuffed, like plush apples.
Wow.
They were plush. They were plush apples with the Wizard of Oz and Sphere logos on. They
Wow.
were a
That's.
hot collector's piece. They were a hot collector's piece. And then they did
man,
a
that is
similar
so cool.
And they did a similar thing with No Doubt because of the being from California, being from
Mhm.
Anaheim. They did one where it was raining oranges, and they were stuffed oranges with the Sphere logo and No Doubt's logo on it.
Wow.
So it was, yeah. So it's pretty cool. I'm excited to see what's going to happen with Rocky Horror because there's so many elements.
Oh, yeah.
As me and Randy know, obviously, Randy, I think you've been to a couple of midnight showings of Rocky
I
in
have
the
not. I
past.
wish. I really wish I have. I
Dude,
had a chance, never did get to go.
Dude, I've been to at least 15 to 20 midnight showings of Rocky Horror over my lifetime.
That'd be amazing. Yeah.
Dude,
Yes, sir.
I bought the $1 to $2 survival kits. I done the whole thing. I danced. I know all the words. I know the catchphrases. A
Right.
lot of it I can't say on this show because it'll probably get us kicked off.
Right.
But man, it is an experience like nobody else. If you get the opportunity, you find a theater in your neighborhood that is playing Rocky Horror Friday or Saturday night
Yeah.
at
Mhm.
midnight, buy the survival kit, dress up, go there, especially on Halloween. Have one hell of a
Yeah,
time.
that's exactly when to go. Yes, sir.
Dude, I went to
Yeah,
Halloween.
there's does that
They
too.
had a
And
dance party. Dude, Randy, they had a dance party one year where they had a live DJ and he was spinning all their sorts of Halloween themed stuff, including Rob Zombie.
Oh wow.
So they were playing Living Dead Girl and Dracula and Super Beast. And I was just like, dude, I'm in my zone.
Definitely.
Nice.
Awesome. Someone I know is in that video for Living Dead Girl.
Oh,
Really?
Somebody I know, yeah. Uh-huh. I'm sitting right up
Oh
front.
my gosh, that's cool.
At live, you know how they show the live, like the live aspect of the show. She's like right there.
Yeah, that's cool.
nice.
Definitely.
Let's see. Real quick, let's get into some. There has to be some Major League Baseball news. I know that one dude, Jeff Hassan. He's the one guy who does. He's a baseball guy. Let's see here. If I can pull this while we wait on Joey, because Joey's going to be here within the next 15 to 20 minutes. Oh, here's a big one, and this is from last night, and that is the Cubs won big last night. another big win for them. But the biggest story coming out of that is PCA Peter Crow Armstrong. The
Hmm.
man hit, went, and got the cycle.
Whoa, nice.
Yep. I believe he is only I'm trying to remember, I think it was like 17th or 18th player in Cubs history to hit the cycle or something like that, some number.
Mhm.
Um, I'm trying to look here. Um, let's see. He completed the cycle on a game on a base hit. That's all he needed. He got a base hit in the seventh inning to take the cycle. But congratulations to PCA Peter Crow Armstrong for getting the cycle. That's pretty damn cool.
That's always
Um,
good. Hit cycle's amazing when they can do
yeah,
that.
he's become one of the Cubs' true hitting aces. I mean, seriously, he's done an amazing job since he's oh, and he got and the Cubs won in the walk off against Colorado 5-4. So
Well,
good night for the Cubs on that
definitely.
one. Let me check ESPN real quick on some stuff as I'm trying to figure it out. What's going on? Here we go. Let's talk about this. And oh, this just broke. Floyd Mayweather is facing two felony charges
Oh,
Hmm.
after the charges were alleging theft and intent to defraud after passing a bad check to purchase a $200,000 watch in Vegas.
mm.
I don't understand that. You're a man who's made millions upon millions of dollars of boxing. You carry $1 million in a freaking backpack with you wherever you go to buy watches, to buy merch, to buy a new car, to buy a new necklace with diamonds and platinum in it. A check bounced for 200 grand for a watch?
You have
Like
the
that's
most money in the world. Like, why are you doing illegal shit? You have more money than money itself.
His name is literally Money Mayweather. Isn't it not? Like, why is he still writing checks? That's my thing. Like, who writes checks still, and why is it Floyd Mayweather?
and
That
I
is
even wrote
insane to me.
so go ahead.
You would think he would have those checks that like they give out during game shows, like those really big, really big checks. Maybe that's what he tried. Maybe they had one of those, and he tried to like turn it in. What a fool! That is like some of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
And he's putting
How
his
do you have
and he's putting his exhibition fight in jeopardy. The fucking moron.
let him go. Let him do it. He's stupid.
Oh my gosh. This is
Yeah,
insane. Um,
crazy. That's crazy to me. That for I think all of that. The craziest thing is that he still has a checkbook.
Dude, like,
That's
come
the
on.
craziest part of
Come
all
on.
of that. That's the
Nobody
craziest
in
part of all of it.
2026 has a freaking checkbook. Give me a break.
Yeah, that's
it's
what I'm saying. People write checks where I work, and we're all looking at each other like, really? You still have checks? You know? Go ahead. I'm sorry, bud.
I haven't wrote a check in probably fucking 15 years.
Same. I have not.
Dude,
I have not.
my mom wrote a check, what was it, 6 months ago to pay as a post dated check to pay
Mhm.
for a vet visit. And it went
Mhm.
through, everything was fine. But That's the first time I've seen anybody write a check in freaking. The only thing I write close to it is money orders to send out to my landlord. That's
Right,
literally
exactly.
it.
Yeah. That's a little
That's it.
more, a little more acceptable these days, with money transfers and different things like that. But man, nobody still has checks.
No,
Especially
well, no, no,
how does one of his bounce?
no. Elder still has checks. The only problem is his are giant slates of stone with a signature on it.
Right. Yeah.
When
Like
Exactly.
some
that
Yeah.
when,
Flintstones bullshit.
when that check bounced, said it doesn't work for me, brother.
That check didn't bounce; it shattered.
Hmm.
Elder's gonna kill me. Um, well, this might be my last show. Good night, folks. No, here we go.
Your new host, Randy. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. What do you guys say?
No, I'm joking. No, I'm just joking. Go ahead.
No, if it was a joke or something, I'm all in for it. Bring it on.
No, I said, and your new host, Randy. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I was going to tell you guys too. I was talking to someone at work that watches some World Cup, and they were talking about World Cup,
Oh yeah,
and I
that is
said,
going on.
Fox One. If you said you have, I told him if you have the app of Fox One, you can watch every single soccer game.
Oh
They have every single game on there. It's like 100 games. And I said there's
Good
going to be
Lord.
7 goals scored.
What?
Out of all those games, there's going to be a whole 7 goals.
You probably were not wrong. Even though Randy, I will say today, France defeated Senegal today, and Norway defeated Iraq. Norway won 4-1, and France won 3-1.
Oh, okay. Okay, I stand corrected.
Yeah, so there was 7 goals right there, and
There's
just
7 goals right there.
um, and also
Yeah.
congratulations
Take
to
the
the U.S.
over under is the over under in the 100 games is 20.
Yeah, congratulations though to the U.S. They ended up winning their first matchup as well, garnering 3 points. I believe they were facing Paraguay.
I think
I
so,
believe
yeah.
that's what. Yeah, they were able to defeat Paraguay and gain 3 points. So congratulations to the U.S. men's team. Um, let's see. Real quick into Major League Baseball, going back to that. Right now, the Phillies are up on the Marlins 8-0 in the middle
Okay.
6th inning. Nationals are up on the Royals, top of the 6th at 3-1. Blue Jays blowing out the Red Sox 3-0.
Hmm.
Yankees stomping the White Sox 7-1.
Ooh.
Bottom of the 4th. Mets, of course, losing to Cincinnati Reds. Sorry, 4-1.
Of course.
Joey's
Man,
Atlanta
if
Braves.
I'm Mets fans, I'm gonna try whatever in the fibers of my being to uncurse that team because they suck.
Maybe you can give them some human money.
I would be paying Danhausen a Brinks truck full of money.
Human monies. Yeah, give them a whole Brinks round.
Speaking of Danhausen, and I don't want to bring up the NBA Finals just yet until Joey gets here, but I do want to bring up this auction item that is now put up on recently on WWE's Fanatics Auctions website, and that is a belt that is signed, a New York Knicks Legacy Championship belt. It is signed by not only Danhausen, but is signed by one Jalen Brunson
Nice.
with special inscriptions on each end of the belt. Danhausen's signature, it says not cursed Brunsonhausen. And then Jalen signed his and put his number and 26 finals MVP.
Nice.
And the belt is currently up for auction. It is currently set right now at $2,505. It was set up earlier today. There's already a couple bids on it, and it closes on the 23rd. So we will be keeping an eye on that auction. And on next week's show, we will talk about it when it ends. So we'll definitely give you an update on that when we get the opportunity. Let's see. As I dig and wait for everybody's favorite Alabama Crimson Tide loser. Fan Joey Thornton to get here. Oh wait, did I say that last part?
Oh, whoops.
Too late. He did it already.
Too
I
late.
love when you do that. That whole stop it. He did it already. Bullshit. Um,
Oof.
let's talk about this. I know Joey's going to speak about it in a second because he's obviously our resident college expert. But obviously it was found out, about this whole situation with I believe his last name is Sorsby, right?
Brandon
Sorsby, who
Brandon
was
Sorsby,
yeah,
Cincinnati quarterback. Yeah,
he
was Cincinnati. Yeah,
Texas Tech. He was going to Texas Tech. Remember?
right. Yeah, I'm saying he was Cincinnati's quarterback all those years, and then he
Yeah.
transferred to Texas Tech, and that was it.
Well, he
He
announced
didn't
that
play,
he has
he played
decided
down.
not to go to Texas Tech, and now he's said that he's going into the NFL supplemental draft.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't know who's got those picks, but he's not a bad player. He's a pretty good player.
Despite his history, it's good to see that he's betting on himself.
Yeah, he's betting on himself. I was just gonna say, it's a safe bet. You can just, it's a good pick. It's a safe bet. Yeah.
Oh, he's a safe bet. Oh, oh my God. I caught that. I'm like, oh my goodness. But let's take a look at some of the other players who were also picks in the supplemental draft. Josh Gordon.
Hmm.
Chris
Josh
Carter.
Gordon,
Yeah, Josh Gordon.
the former Brown.
Yeah, former Brown. Yes, sir.
Mr.
Interesting.
Gambling himself.
Hmm. Yeah, that poor dude couldn't stop smoking weed. He'd be one of the best players of all time.
Martavius Bryant, you got company, buddy.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Diago Pavi is about to join that crew.
Is he one of those nerds too, or?
Don't no. Diago Pavia got signed by Baltimore.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Remember, he got signed without even trying out. Fucking idiots.
Yeah. And then he was even giving them junk. What? They signed him.
Johnny Manziel 2.0.
Pavia got lucky. He beat an Alabama team that wasn't that good that year, and he just kind of was, I don't know.
He became a whiny
He rode a wave, yeah, that got lucky.
He became a whiny little bitch after losing out in the Heisman voting. Decided to go to a club with a bunch of beautiful women, which obviously I'm not rooting against. But
Of course.
he went there and then held up a light up sign that says "fuck Indiana" as a dig at Fernando Mendoza because he won the MVP and he didn't, and he was pissed about that. And then he started mouthing off about what he's worth and this and that, and he reminds me a lot of Johnny Football later in his career.
You're right, yes, sir.
The attitude issues, the lack of maturity. It's just I think that's what's going to end his career very early before it even starts.
Yeah, he'll be in the UFL. No, and that's not a slight against the UFL. That's
Fuck
just
that!
where he'll be.
Fuck that! Fuck that, Randy. He'll be in the CFL.
Yeah, there's only 6 teams up there. He can play for all 6.
Probably will for his career's over. But Chris Carter was another one.
Oh wow.
Brian Bosworth.
Those are people that are in the supplemental draft?
Those were people that were in the supplemental draft in the past.
Oh, I thought you meant they're available now. I was like,
no. No. These are people that have been in the supplemental draft that have been picked to play.
Oh, right. Yes, sir. I got you. Okay.
Yeah, Terrell Pryor is another one.
Yep.
Bernie Kosar.
Terrell Pryor just got in trouble recently.
Bernie Kosar, who we recently saw at TNA with Nick Nemeth.
Yes.
And speaking of TNA, I want to point this out. It was announced earlier this week that returning at Slammiversary will be one of the pioneers of the X division, the Amazing Red.
Yeah,
Nice.
I tell you what. If you're a fan of Red from way back, or for a TNA from way back, you know he had a correlation with someone in TNA. A very that really thought the world of Amazing Red. Thought he was like the best wrestler. I don't know if you remember this or not, but it was Don West. He absolutely loved Amazing Red, and
Yes.
anytime he was on, it was you know it was crazy. And even like when he came back and all that a couple years ago, he was before West passed, unfortunately, he was even talking about it. But he was always Don West was always like, "Did you see that?" And we're like, everybody's going, "Yeah, Don, we're watching it too." Like, you could tell he wasn't. That wasn't his uh, first. It wasn't the job he's always had. Was commentating. He was always trying to sell baseball cards.
Yeah, or
He
that,
was,
or their grab bags at TNA shows for, $20.
yeah,
Remember the
yeah.
brown
I
bag
was,
special?
yeah. I actually went to a show at the Asylum. I've actually been there.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw. We sat not too far from them, from Tanay and Tanay and West. We didn't
Let
sit
me,
too far away
Randy,
at all. Yeah. Yes.
Randy, I'll give you a nice fact. I was at
Yeah.
Starcast. I had just checked into the hotel with my best friend Nico. We walk out of the
Mhm.
hotel. To the right, our door opens up. Our neighbor is Don West and his wife.
No way.
Yes. So we got
You
to
said
talk
you
to
gotta
Don.
be kidding me.
So I got to talk to Don. He was awesome. His wife was
That would have
amazing
been
too.
great.
I got
Oh,
the
that
me,
would.
me, me and him got a photo together. Me and Nico got a photo together with Don as
Oh
we were
wow.
both heading downstairs to go to the go because we were staying at the home hotel of Starcast where they were holding everything. So it was literally
Oh,
just
that's
an
cool.
elevator ride down, and it
Hmm.
was cool to share an elevator with Don West
Yeah,
and his wife on the way down as they were heading to their autograph signing. But
that is.
but yeah, I just wanted to bring up since we were mentioning said did mention that Amazing Red is returning for TNA's anniversary. But back to
Cool.
back to the supplemental picks. The other supplemental picks that were selected over time. Another one was Rob Monroe, or I mean Rob Moore. Excuse me.
Mm. Oh yeah.
Yep, from the Jets, and then the other one, Jamal Williams.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yep, the former.
Somebody I was thinking about that. He was a very good supplemental draft pick. I can't think right now.
Yeah, these were the ones that Schefter had listed. So I don't have everything, unfortunately, right in front of me.
Oh, of course, right.
So I wanted to bring that up. Also, too, the Vikings have hired a new football advisor, and that is former Bears general manager Ryan Pace.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, and they also hired as the new director of pro scouting, um, Azam Kapadia, who was a former Seahawks executive.
Hmm.
So Vikings adding some new office staff to their ranks. But as Joey gets ready to come in here soon, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the NBA Finals. And what an absolute finals it was. Just a wrap. It was great battle between two teams, but in the end, the New York Knicks were able to get it done, blowing taking out two leads that the Knicks had. And not only that, a major 29-point lead that is just as horrific and bad as the Atlanta Falcons fucking losing to the Patriots in 28-3,
For
which by the
once,
way, I just said,
Dan Quinn can finally sleep peacefully at night, knowing that he does not have the single-handedly worst loss to when it comes to in a series, but he still holds the distinction of having the worst single game. But for a time period, Dan Quinn and Falcons fans can actually rest at night knowing that for once they're not being humiliated by sports fans and writers.
until his son starts doing fractions, and then one of the fractions is three out of 28.
Man, I tell you what,
But
that comeback on Wednesday night last week, that was it was amazing. I mean, San Antonio was scorching hot from the field in the first half, 14 of 26 from the 3-point line. I mean, they were just raining threes upon the Knicks. They were defending every shot. They were quick to the ball. They were up 27 at the half, and then the second half comes around, then they pushed to 29. But the thing I don't understand, and you guys can vouch for this, what the hell are the players doing for San Antonio jacking up 8 consecutive threes when you're up 25? Just because you shot good from the field in the first half, that does not mean you're going to continue to shoot lights out the rest of the way. And they went cold from the field.
Yeah. Yeah, it's rigged. I'm sorry. It's rigged. I'm sorry.
Dude, okay. I understand, we like to throw this wrestling terminology shit all the time. But dude, there's just no way. There's no way. There is no way that the Spurs just let their foot off the gas. You just don't on script miss 8 shots in a row from the 3-point line and go cold from the field. It's a make or miss league. And
somewhere Marks is watching this show right now going, yes, believe in the script.
It's
I mean, my God, dude. I mean, the fact that they could not buy a bucket in that second half, pretty much. I mean, going 14 in the first 26, and then they go 14 for their last 17 threes missing. Like, crazy. Yeah. And in the third quarter alone, they did not have a single bucket in the paint.
Yeah.
I mean, they got lackadaisical. Brunson was making his shots, and Anunoby was making shots. Karl-Anthony Towns also endured foul trouble in this game. He made some shots. Hart made a couple of threes in that third quarter. It was crazy.
Right. But it was in the script. So that's what happened. No, I don't know. I'm kidding. I don't know what happened. There's no way to explain it. The Knicks, no one's watching, and all of a sudden they win, erase a 29-point deficit. So, it's not. It's a testament to the Knicks to not say, "Hey, this game's over." But it just makes you wonder.
Not only that, but the thing too about the fourth quarter is De'Aaron Fox. Like, dude, what are you doing? Like, okay, so he was missing shots. Wembanyama was crumbling at the scene, not making shots, turning the ball over. Boneheaded turnovers by the Spurs in this fourth quarter as well. And Wemby, real quick, in the first half, talking all that shit. I'm in your head. And then it's funny how the shoe drops on the other foot, and it's almost like they were in your head. And perfect timing because, ladies and gentlemen.
What's in your head, Steven? In your head. Zombie.
That's right. Ladies and gents, our brother from another mother, JT, Joey Thornton, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, man.
Just in time, dude, because we're talking about Game 4 of the NBA Finals and the epic collapse. That was not the Atlanta Falcons for once. It was the San Antonio Spurs.
But before Joey gets into this, I got to say this real quick. I just saw a video on YouTube of the most awesome thing ever, and that was a bunch of Norwegian World Cup fans were on the escalators of the TD Garden, and they were on the up escalators, and he all sat on the stairs and started rowing back and forth like they were rowing a boat. I I said right now, somebody needs to put some Amon and Marth over this.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
put on some raise your horns. Thank you very much.
Yes. All right, Joey, go ahead. NBA Finals Game 4, collapse.
Hi. Well, you know that old saying that goes, actions speak louder than words.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, here's what I have to say about that game 4 collapse. That's what that was. That was a choke job of all choke jobs by the San Antonio Spurs. I mean, there's not really much I can say about that. First half, they were on top of the world. Second half, they were literally homeless hobos walking around the streets.
Can I buy a bucket from you? No. Can I buy a free throw from you? No.
Can I buy a foul from you? No.
Can I get a layup from you with like 13 seconds ago? No, that doesn't work for me, brother.
Was that the hand of OG?
More like they're calling the hand of God because it was just miraculous.
See, I mean, I still cannot get over why De'Aaron Fox would not just dribble the ball out instead of trying to lay it up with 10 seconds to go.
Not only that, but they had to foul.
Yeah, they had to foul.
They had to foul. It was right there. And you blew it. You had it all and you blew it. I mean, my God. I mean, and Wembanyama, not to mention, he missed 2 critical free throws in the first, in about a minute and change to go in the game. That would have put him up 3.
And I'm not sure if y'all might have covered this during the show, but I talked this over with Steven the other day, and I'm going to ask Ezra, I'm going to ask you and Randy the same question that I asked Steven. Say the shoe was on the other foot, and OKC would have been the one in the NBA Finals against New York. Would we have gotten a better series with the Thunder having the finals experience?
Perhaps. But, yeah, maybe. But it's hard to say. You know, I think both teams, they would have matched up just same. I think just the same. I think it might have been a little bit better, but Knicks probably would have pulled it out in 6, maybe 7. You know,
Very much so.
A little bit better series.
I just feel like OKC would have given them at least a little bit more competition.
Not only that, but the fact that San Antonio. Not only that, but San Antonio literally beat themselves, in this series, and they expelled a lot of energy in that OKC series against the Thunder. And I mean, I cannot recall an NBA Finals team that blows 5 double-digit leads in 4 of those games. You found a way to lose.
Yeah.
You only won one game.
That's probably a first in NBA history.
And just because on paper they were the quote unquote better team, that does not mean they were the better team. Because clearly the experience by this Knicks unit just clamped down on the Spurs. And the Spurs, they could be back.
And I mean, for crying out loud, going back to the Knicks for a second, 3 of those Knicks players play college ball. 3 with the play college ball together. 3 of those Knicks players won an NCAA championship with each other.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah, they know they're a little more tested in the playoffs, right? And that
Karl Anthony Towns has been through the ringer. He went to the Western Conference Finals with the Timberwolves against the Mavericks. He's been in the league for for 9 years. This past year. He's had his test, and Brunson's had his test, against Golden State. And Mikal Bridges is going to the NBA Finals with Phoenix 5 years ago, losing to Milwaukee in that series. So Bridges knows what it's like. Cat knows what it's like to go to make a deep postseason run. Brunson knows what it's like to make a deep postseason run. So does Mike Brown, the coach. Mike Brown, unlike Mitch Johnson, is a more reliable coach, and he trusts every single one of his players.
Yeah.
And not only that, but I felt like the Spurs, even after blowing that game, and not only that, back to game 4 real quick. Brunson takes that shot, and Anunoby gets the inbounds pass. So nobody's picking him up at this point. Brunson shot the 3. It looked like it was going to go good, but then nobody picks up Brunson. And second question, why the hell is Wemby up there guarding the shot when you should be in the paint trying to protect the paint? And second of all, if you're going to have Wemby up there at the top of the key trying to guard the shot, why isn't Cornette in there? You need to have
Well,
at least 2 big bodies in there to guard that shot, or at least one
well,
big body.
well, Stephen, I can definitely answer that second question for you about why Wemby was not in the paint. Because he ain't strong enough.
No,
He's tall, but he's slender. He is not muscular. He is not powerful. He does not have the body to guard like he's supposed to inside the paint. That dude needs to freaking bulk up this off season.
I agree.
I'm telling you.
And in game 5, so and then obviously we'll get to game 5. And talking about game 5, the Spurs once again were up double digits for a 5th time in this series, up 16. And even when they went up 16, they said that's too easy for the Knicks. Like I said, they're going to make a run at this because they have all series long. They made a run. They got back in the game. And I think right then I said, okay, the Knicks are going to go on another run probably, and they're going to get back in this game and potentially win this game. And I mean, Castle had another piss poor performance. In game 5, he wasn't great. Or excuse me, game 4 he wasn't great from the field, but he was good from the free throw line. But in game 5, Castle was terrible from the field.
Well,
And
hang on.
De'Aaron Fox was not good. Go ahead.
Well, hang on. Let me stop you right there, Stephen. Despite the fact that Stephon Castle did not have the best game or did not really have the best series, you got to admit, he and Dylan Harper still dribbled circles around De'Aaron Fox.
Oh, God. Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
De'Aaron Fox could not, and excuse my French, but De'Aaron Fox could not do shit in this NBA Finals.
No, he cannot. He was
He
terrible.
could not do it.
And Charles Barkley said something at half on Saturday. He said, Coach, take him out the damn game. He's not doing nothing for you.
Yeah, and after game 4, Mitch Johnson, here he is at the microphone. Oh, I still believe in De'Aaron Fox. I still think he can do something. I still think he can give us big plays out there on the court if he wants to. Man, are you delusional? Have you not been seeing? I mean, did you not see the same De'Aaron Fox that everybody else was seeing? Because obviously you weren't.
You know what's also funny is somebody asked Mitch Johnson, "Hey Mitch, hey Coach, what's your game plan to stop Jalen Brunson?" And then he goes, "Don't let him score a lot of points." Dude, what kind of a response is that? Give me a break. And don't get me started on Wembanyama. He was
I was about to say, do not get me started on Wembanyama. That dude is nothing but a sore loser.
Thank you.
He
Because
is nothing but a sore loser. As a matter of fact, he was doing this at the Summer Olympics when the U.S. beat France in the finals of the
gold medal
Olympic
game.
basketball tournament. Yeah, the gold medal game.
Steph Curry draining that 3 in his grill. Boom.
I mean, Wembanyama has not grown up in 3 years. So I'm sorry, Wembanyama, but you hear that? Tick, tick, tick. Time is ticking, buddy.
You got to
Grow
get
the fuck up.
Not only that, but you know what he also said? He said that, oh, what pisses me off is that, what I'm pissed at is that we're going to potentially have to wait another 100 some odd games to get back here. Dude, you don't even know if you're going to get back there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't even know if you're going to make it back to the finals because look at James Harden, look at Russell Westbrook with the Thunder. They did not make it back to the finals. Kevin
They probably
Durant.
won't either.
Kevin Durant had to do what he had to do. He knew he wasn't going to win with that team. So the
No.
enemy is my friend, even though we hated it. But Durant did what he had to do to get a championship under his belt, and he won 2 titles, including the Finals MVP, not once but twice.
Yep.
So, and not only that, but if I'm Wembanyama, I'm learning from Dirk Nowitzki. I'm learning from his coach in the offseason, Hakeem Olajuwon. And oh, by the way, he is pulling the Olajuwon because Hakeem, when they faced the Celtics in the '86 finals, he was doing the same shit that Wembanyama's been doing. He was hurting players, he was wanting to fight players, Hakeem was doing. And Wembanyama's knocking players down aggressively on the court, this and that, the third, running his mouth. And I get it. People want to see, competition. People want to see people, I don't want to be friendly with you. That I get. But at the same time, sportsmanship goes a long way.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. And also going back to Wembanyama real fast, if he would have been shown, I don't care how big of a superstar Wembanyama is, I guarantee you that if Popovich was the head coach and Wembanyama was acting like this, Popovich would have pointed so far down on the bench and saying, hey, sit your ass on that bench. You ain't getting up until you fucking grow up hair.
That's exactly what it. That's it.
I guarantee you, Popovich would have done that.
That's exactly what he would have said because Popovich did not care if you were Duncan, Parker, or Ginobili. He would have pointed you in the direction that he wanted you to go, and you were going to listen to him, and you were going to like it or not. And
why do you think Popovich is one of the goats of NBA head coaches? Because the man knows his stuff. The man knows his stuff. He is so disciplined.
And dude, the fact that, and you guys saw this over the weekend, Wembanyama, the way he was reacting in these press conferences. Okay, first of all, heading into Game 5, too confident, man. I understand that you want to have the confidence in the world because you felt like you're in this series because you had the leads. Okay, that I kind of get. But at the same time, actions speak louder than your words. You have to own up to everything. And I've never witnessed a finals team have 5 games or however long a series goes, and they have double-digit leads in the finals, and they lose 4 out of the 5 games. That shows me right there that you are not mentally, physically prepared for this spotlight just yet. You got the talent as far as the physical skills. You can block, you can shoot, you can get to the paint, but the one thing that Wemby needs to work on for his offensive game, he needs to work on a actual post game because that's what LeBron did in 2011 during the offseason when they lost to the Mavericks. What did LeBron do following Kidd and Terry and Nowitzki and that Maverick squad beating that Miami Super team? LeBron said, I'm going to use this as a motivation, and he did. He worked on his post game. He developed a really good post game, and when he was using that post game, it opened up his jump shots.
Yep.
Wemby, take notes.
And then when Wemby was in the press conference after Game 5, and I understand he doesn't like to lose. Nobody likes to lose. Everybody wants to win.
Nobody does.
But sometimes you have to lose to learn to be humble. Sometimes you have to learn, to be humbled, and you have to, to lose and go through adversity to teach you a lesson in humility and to show you that, hey, just because you had a path in your 3rd year to get to the finals, that doesn't mean you're going to win it automatically because players like LeBron, players like Jordan, they did not win early on in their career. Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant. Those guys did not.
And also keep in mind, excellent point that you just brought up there, Steven, because I literally said this to you one day last week when we were talking on the phone. I said, what is another player that was young whenever he made his first NBA Finals, and he made his first NBA Finals in his 3rd season, but did not win? And who did you say that was?
LeBron.
LeBron. Thank you. LeBron literally made it to his first finals in his third season. And he could not get the job done. But like you said, what did he do? He used that as a learning experience. Wemby, he's treating this like he's just literally a sore loser.
And then and just the way he was like, we dominated the majority of that series. Just because you were up on the scoreboard, that does not mean you dominated. You
Oh, no,
have
no,
to
no, no, no,
finish
no,
these
no.
games.
Now, here we go. Here we go. Here's a quote from Mitch Johnson. Analytically, we should be up 3-2 in this series. Bullshit. Analytics don't mean shit in basketball, buddy.
He
At
pulled
the
the
end,
same thing that James Harden and Kenny Atkinson did. It's
No.
I
Cleveland all
mean,
over again. Oh my God.
still, I mean, until you see all zeros on a scoreboard in the fourth quarter, analytics don't mean shit in basketball.
And the thing I don't understand about Wembanyama is why only one game in these finals did he start from the inside and work outside. Game 3, he was 5 for 5 in the paint to start out the game. He was in around the basket.
Oh, I'll tell you why. Because the pressure kept getting onto him whenever he was inside the paint. I was like, oh, my body is not physical enough. I can't compete with these big guys. I'm going back out shooting threes and being a deep threat. Dude, are you fucking stupid? You're
You know what's
7'5".
dude,
You don't you're not a deep threat. You are 7'5". You
you're
are
not
a center.
you're not Dirk Nowitzki because Dirk Nowitzki, unlike Wembanyama, had a post game, had a jump shot, and he was more tough.
I mean, centers do not shoot threes. That's pretty much a given.
Right. Yeah.
And
I mean,
again,
my God.
I'm not denying his talents. He's got the talent. He's got the tools to be good. But man, does he have to be better? He's got to be better when winning and better when losing, and he also has to do better about his physical appearance. Because not only that, the one thing that they did with him throughout the regular year that I thought that hampered his success in the playoffs was he was not well conditioned to play 35, 40, 45, 48 minutes when they if
Nope.
they needed to. Because guys like LeBron, guys like Jalen Brunson, guys like Kevin Durant, guys like Kobe in his prime when he was obviously a player, in his early 20s and even early 30s. Ray Allen, Ray Allen in the '08 Finals in Game 4, he played 48 minutes in that Game 4 and that comeback against the Lakers. LeBron's played nearly 48 minutes. Dwayne Wade's played nearly 48 minutes. The Spurs greats like Duncan, Parker, Ginobili, they've all played nearly 48 minutes. I mean, you got to be well conditioned. It doesn't matter if you're slim or not. You still have to be conditioned to play deeper as the season progresses.
Exactly. And take those players like you just said, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Reggie Miller, all these other players. You ask them to play 45, 50 minutes a game, and they're like, okay, I'm a little tired, but guess what? I can still go. Wembanyama, after playing 40 minutes, ah, ah, coach, do you see a problem with that picture? Because I sure as hell do.
Didn't he miss a lot of games this year too?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, he
So
did.
Yes, he did. That's a good call, Randy. Good call.
might have been a little
Good
hurt
call.
still.
Well, no, well,
But
not
I
only that,
mean,
but if I'm not
I'm not making
mistaken,
excuses for the guy. He's young, and he just needs to be in better NBA shape. He's been playing overseas for a long time, but those game and that game and the NBA game totally different. So he's gotta learn that. Like I said, he's
And I
he's he's
mean,
gonna they're gonna be back. The Spurs will probably be back. I don't know if they'll get to the finals again. I mean, you never know. I mean, who knows? And they may add. I mean, but you just never know. You just never know.
Yeah, and I mean, come on. This is not the 70s and the 80s, Wimby. You can't be tall and lanky and expect everything to go your way because tall and lanky players that were decent, but they weren't superstar material.
And Wemby's the one in the
And right
generation
now,
kind of player.
Wimby is heading down that same path.
And Wemby, I'll give
And
him
right
that.
now, Wimby is heading down that same path.
And I'll give Wemby that he has the tools in the toolbox to be good, but he's got to develop. And he's young, like you said, Randy and Joey and Ez. You know, we've talked about this countless times. He's 22 years old. This was his third year in the league. This was also his first year in the playoffs. And to make it to the finals, that's very impressive. But if you want to achieve the ultimate goal, you got to be in it to win it. And the Spurs need to get a better big man to be right there behind Wemby. Because every time Wembanyama went out to sit for a good amount of time, the Thunder capitalized a lot of the times, and the Knicks sure as hell capitalize in these finals.
Yep, that's right.
And I'm not surprised what happened Saturday in Game 5, as I know we're not, just because you don't come back from that, blowing a 29-point lead. I mean, the Spurs had every shot to do something, and they just didn't. They're just young. And with that being said, Harper, that kid's a stud. That kid is a stud. Castle, when he's consistent, he's one of the best young players in the league. Wemby, if he can bulk up and be a better big man, he's got the tools to do it. They got the team to do it. It's just that they had to learn. And sometimes, like the old saying goes, you got to lose one to win one.
Yeah, and as far as De'Aaron Fox goes, that dude just needs help.
He does. He clearly needs help.
He just needs help.
Why
Because
are
he is
you?
definitely not. Because he is definitely not the same player that we saw in Sacramento.
Why are you laying up the ball with 10 seconds to go in Game 4? Like, why? You're thinking,
When you were up by 1.
Stupid. Absolutely. Now, if it would have been 3, okay, fine. I can live with that. But you're up 1. You're not up 2. You're not up 3. Not up 4. You're up 1.
But on to a more positive side of things, which I'm sure you guys have brought this up, but there's going to be a party up in Raleigh on Saturday. Oops, sorry, I meant a party in Hockey Town on Saturday.
Yep, we brought that up before you came on. And speaking of party,
Carolina Hurricanes, baby. Yes, sir.
And speaking of parties, man, New York City's going to be crazy this Thursday with the party of Manhattan happening. And
wait. What are you talking about? They've already been having a party. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. As a matter of fact, there's already been 4 stabbings, a shooting, 5 school buses caught on fire, and 63 people arrested.
Can we just say, I'm sorry, but can the unofficial theme song for...
I don't know whether that's a Knicks championship celebration or a weekend in Chicago.
Can the Knicks unofficial theme song be Symphony of Destruction by Megadeth, please and thank you?
Oh, yeah.
And big comparison. Let's see, the streets of Raleigh last night. Let's see, did we see any stabbings? No. Any shootings? No. Any buses catch on fire? No. Any people arrested?
No.
No.
Because everybody was asleep once the game was over.
People in New York, let's just cause chaos.
They're like, we won. Yeah. All right. We gotta get up for breakfast. All right, see you.
The one thing that I will say that was also really cool about the Knicks winning this year, 2 things. The wrestling effect, ironically, had a role in this. And the fact that
no. Not really the wrestling effect, but the Danhausen effect.
That's what I'm talking about. Is Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns are massive wrestling fans. And I think Josh Hart is too, but I know for sure Jalen Brunson and Carl Anthony Towns are humongous wrestling fans. And the fact that Danhausen had a hand in this was absolutely hilarious. Because the fact
Oh,
that
speaking of which, real quick, sorry to cut you off, Steven, but
Hold
Danhausen
on.
has been invited to attend the next celebration parade.
how
Yep,
much human money
by WFAN.
It's
I
funny.
wonder how much human money he was given to be there.
That's right.
Well, I could probably
Yeah,
tell you. I can tell you he
I
was
wonder-
giving out lots of human monies. Just ask Dirty Dom and Big Head JD McDonald's. They gave him a lot of money to curse over Femi. And Dan was like, no, I'm not doing that. So he took the human monies and darted off.
I wonder if he's going to be invited to the Hurricanes parade on Saturday.
Man, if he goes to both
There's one
parades,
too, yeah.
man, what a man.
He-
And the fact
then
that the Hurricanes were cursed and then they were uncursed and then they won the title.
Dude, and here's
I love all my Hurricane houses.
Oh yeah, by the way, this is funny with this whole Danhausen thing. As we know about this stuff, and Joey, I told these guys this earlier that WWE Shop has put up one of the New York Knicks Legacy Championship titles.
Yeah.
It is signed by both Danhausen and Jalen Brunson.
Brilliant.
And
Absolutely brilliant.
right now
Brilliant.
it is currently sitting at over $2,500.
I believe it. I believe it.
They put up the auction today. It's going to end, believe it or not, next Tuesday on the sports show.
Nice.
Hey,
They listen. But real quick, guys. Also on this stuff, Jalen Brunson and some of the crew were at Jimmy Fallon last night, and
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon asked about the Danhausen curse,
Oh
and
wow.
Jalen Brunson goes, Jalen says, I don't know if it had anything to do with us winning, but I mean, you got to believe it at this point. You got to believe in it at this point. So.
yeah.
Funny.
I mean, the fact that it worked with Cleveland when they blew the 22-point lead against the Knicks. Then it happens again in game 4, 29-point deficit, and the Knicks still find a way to win. Then in game 5, Brunson just takes over that fourth quarter and drops 45 in the game. And it was just so cool, with Brunson and his dad, who played with the Knicks in 27 years ago in the finals with the Knicks. For them to share that special moment with each other, and it was so cool. And the Hurricanes head coach was the captain of the Hurricanes' first Stanley Cup championship team 20 years ago. So again,
Yes, he was.
circle moments across the board.
And also when it came to the Hurricanes, Joe, I mentioned about the record the new legacy that now that Jacob Slavin now holds as only the second person in NHL history to hold both a Stanley Cup and an Olympic gold medal for ice hockey in the Olympics.
Hey,
That's awesome.
nice.
He is an elite company, and it is amazing.
Yeah,
to
he
see.
definitely is.
And speaking of that, real quick, it was also cool that him and Jack Eichel shared a moment on the ice following Game 6, because obviously they were teammates with the U.S. men's hockey team that won last year. Really cool for them.
Yeah.
They captured that moment with them embracing and
Definitely.
a good sportsmanship. See that, Wembanyama? Sportsmanship. Give me a break.
But yeah, speaking of hockey, I'm not sure if y'all talked about this, but I saw that the Vegas Golden Knights coach John Tortorella is not going to be returning to the Golden Knights next season.
Yeah, we did talk about that. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
they said that they didn't want him back.
Coach, he was just coach for hire. That's it.
He was a hired
That's
gun.
crazy though.
Hired gun. Yeah, that's it.
I mean, he was literally hired with 8 games to go in the regular season.
Mm-hmm. Got him to the Stanley Cup.
What if they would have won? Would they have fired him then?
I think probably.
Well, they thought that if they would have, that would have put them on the same trajectory as when the Bucks fired Mike Budenholzer after their NBA Finals win.
Yeah,
Good point.
that's true.
Very
Please,
good point.
yeah, but please, don't even get me started on that, Rick. Because we'll be on the show for another hour at this point.
Yeah, good point. But yeah, real quick before we close out the show, too, Joe, I got you being the consummate college expert. I want to get your quick thoughts on the whole Sorsby situation. Obviously, we know that he got in trouble in college for the gambling scandal. Then he was allowed to play by a court order through eligibility to play another season. Then he decided he was not returning to Texas Tech and decided now that he's going to go ahead and declare for the supplemental draft coming up. As I said earlier to these guys, I mean, it's good. It's good that he's doing this. I mean, for his own career, I guess, even though there still could be some backlash from that, it's still good to see that he's, betting on himself. So,
Well, let's see.
meow.
Basically, but yeah, basically,
that joke went over his head quicker than a pass from Geno Smith.
That
Yeah,
joke went over
it
his
did.
head quicker than Wembanyama throwing that pass at Castle's back.
Yeah.
But basically, everybody was talking about the whole Sorsby situation, and case in point, if Sorsby would have been allowed to play for Texas Tech would not have had a football schedule next year because everybody was pulling out of trying to play them because they didn't want to play against a cheater a better and a cheater. And quite honestly, I don't blame them. I mean, cheating and betting does not belong in sports. It never has, and it never will.
Here's the funny thing is, you don't like Sorsby because he's a cheater. I don't like Diego Pavia because he's just a dick.
Yeah. Diego Pavia, trust me, I know about Diego Pavia because I watch SEC football probably more than anybody in this room. But yeah, Diego Pavia is a asshole.
He's gonna be a cancer to that Ravens organization.
They won't keep him around long.
Yeah, they won't. Yeah, they may sign him to a 3-year deal, but 1 year into that 3 years, he'll be on. Everybody will be like, "Please get this poison out of. Please get this midget out of our locker room. He does not belong."
No.
Yeah. And then one final note before we close out the show, Joey, I want to get your thoughts on the Patrick Mahomes contract extension that gives him $500,000 over whatever seasons he's going to play until. Now, he's the first player to reach $500 million in total money.
Yep. Yeah, he's
3 Super Bowls. He still won 3 Super Bowls in 6 seasons. And yes, I know your opinion of him, Randy, but you can't deny the fact that he's still Patrick Mahomes. You can't deny that.
I can definitely deny it, and I will.
Denial, it seems it had to come.
He's QB 15 now. He's not. He's there's QB 12. He's QB 15. Sorry. Sorry. I'm done. I'm done with that. Him and after the game, after his, when he comes back, him and the ref will switch jerseys. It'll all be all right.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go with that again.
We relied on him to say it all.
That's it. Fellas, hey, I'm gonna go. My tablet's about to die, so I need to jump off here anyways. I know we're already done, but great show tonight, and good analysis as always. And thank you. And I'll see you all next week. We'll talk. All right.
Hopefully the script will allow you to be on the show with us.
Hey, you can bet on it. Me and Brandon Sorsby, we got it.
All right, Randy,
I'll talk to you later. Bye. I'll take care. Later. Bye.
All right. So yeah, you're all right with the whole thing, Randy? Or I mean, not Randy. Fuck, Joey. Damn it.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
All right.
Gents, that's going to be it for me too, because I just got home and I can hear my bed calling my name. So I'm going to go and get off here.
Man. By the way, I've been out. By the way, this is my my second day back on the internet because I've been without power for 4 fucking days.
Yikes.
Yeah. Severe weather tore through. I was without power for 4 days. I hate it.
Well, all right. Peace. I'm out of here.
All right,
Later,
Joe.
dude.
But that's the end of the show. So they said their goodbyes. So, Steven, might as well say yours.
Yep. Great, great show here tonight. We covered a lot actually here tonight. Lots of good stuff tonight, and looking forward to seeing where we go over the next couple of weeks. Because as we all know, once August comes around in a couple of months, we're going to be hitting that big with the NFL with our previews of the AFC and the NFC respectively. And so yeah, over the rest of June and the month of July, we'll keep you covered with everything that goes on. Obviously, the NBA's offseason is going to be hitting it big uh, with free agency on the horizons in July. And we'll see where these guys end up and where they'll sign with. Where will Giannis go? Where will LeBron go? We'll find out. A lot of fun tonight. Thank you to everybody joining here in the chat and joining on demand as well. And looking forward to being back on here with you guys again next week. And you can follow us on Twitter or X at Owen_Sports Show, Facebook.com/Our Nation Sports Show, and where we are live on most Tuesday nights on the same channel, YouTube.com/Our Nation Sports Show, 7 o'clock on the East Coast, 6 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Pacific time. You can also follow the Nation's Corner on Twitter at Nation's Corner. Everywhere else on the Facebook, the YouTube, and the Instagram, they're all at the Nation's Corner, so check it out. And that will do it for us tonight as I wrap us up, my friend.
Sure, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to have a great time over these next few weeks as we get ready to head into the NFL seasons, get ready for the NBA draft, a few other things coming up as well. We're excited. We're heading into this upcoming summer months. And, of course, July is going to be a big month. Of course, my birthday coming up on the 3rd, 35. It's going to be fun. And just, of course, we'll keep in contact with the sports. We'll have more updates next week. And for this week, we're going to close it out without an intro because next week, we are going to have a brand new outro starting next week. So might see a little change, might see a little bit of some difference. I don't know how it's all going to work, but until then, please join us next time. So for Randy Giron, for Joey Thornton, for our boy KR, Kevin Rory, and Spirit, of course. For Stephen Wyand, for Hijacker Mike, at Mr. Mac, at Smoke NTHAVY, Smoke at the Bay, for all your cigar needs. I am Ezra Vickery, and we will see you all next time for another great Our Nation Sports Show. Take care, everybody. Have a great week, and we will see you all next week. Same time, same YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe, or